Hello everyone, I'm Neo and welcome back to part 5 of our Petscop Godot series. Today we'll be adding our pause menu. This is almost exactly like how Petscop has it as well. Once again, all files, including the TSCN files and the art files, will be available in the GitHub below. Now, let's get started. First, you'll want to create a canvas layer. Then you'll want to create a panel, add a VBox, and add buttons. These will be for our menu. We will also want to add a sprite to the in an animation player. I have named all the nodes so it's more easy to organize. And now we can readjust our menu. It's okay to have the menu just a little bit more out, so long as it doesn't peer out of our screen. Now, what we'll want to do for our sprite is first have position of our sprite node to be 512 and 300, or in other words, half of the x and y coordinates of your screen. So whichever it may be, it may differ. Then we'll create two animations, pause inward and pause outward. We'll go to our pause inward and we'll have our position keyed. We'll have our visibility also keyed. And then we'll have our scale keyed. Then at the very end, we will go to our position and we'll divide it furthermore. We'll have it at 275 for our position. It may differ, but we do have a little bit of a bar on our panel, and then have it at 170. We'll key that. We'll go to scale and put it at 0.5. So it shrinks to the top left corner. We will want to keep our visibility on for this part. Next, we'll want to go to our pause outward and we'll want to key in these positions here. 275, 170. Then we'll click on our scale. Then we'll put it back in our original position and scale. And this time we'll have our visibility off. Now we will come back to our animation player. But before we do so, we're going to add a script. For this part, you'll want to copy the code, but also make sure you connect all the buttons. Change the names accordingly. There we go. Now I'll quickly explain how the system works to shrink our screen to the top left. We grab a picture here of using the viewport, and we first clear it out in case there is an image taking place of the texture of the sprite here. Then we go into our next frame. We yield to the visual server. In other words, we pause the game momentarily to grab a frame, and only one frame. We change the texture to our viewport and get the data, and then we get the image texture and we set it to our sprite. Now we need to go back to our animation player, and we need to add something called a call method track. And we'll connect it from our pause menu. For pause outward, you're gonna want to go to unpause game. Right here. Go to pause inward and do the same thing, but with the opposite function. Now you're gonna want to save the scene as pause menu, and we'll create a new folder. It'll be called menus. Save it to here. Next, what we'll want to do is go to project settings, then go to our window, scroll down, and make sure that our aspect ratio is kept, and then the mute mode is kept at viewport. Before we try out our game, we'll want to also go back to project settings and add a button called escape. Then we'll add a physical key, which is escape. Next, we're going to want to go to our layer, move it up to 5, and then we'll want to change our process, or our pause mode to process. Then we'll go to player, and we will instance the player's pause menu to the very bottom. Now that we load it in, we can press start, go to our save, and then there we go. We have a completely working pause menu that's just like Petscop's. And we can click resume and it'll move our screen back, and we can continue moving. However, as you can see, it will pause the game and it'll keep the NPC from actually moving. Then we can quit if we feel like, and it would still work. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this video was informal and useful, and I will see you guys in the next episode. I am Neo, and this is Duo Tutor.